Hello my friend, my name is Jonathan Doyle. Welcome to my humble channel here on YouTube or Rumble. It is good to have the pleasure of your specific company. We are living in an attention economy. The real value at the moment is not so much financial as it is attention. So I am privileged, I am honored that you have lavished your attention on me for the next few minutes, and I want to bring you value. I want to bring you some form of breakthrough or insight in your life that is really going to move you forward. Now, housekeeping as always, if you are not a subscriber, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe buttons here. It does make a big difference. I tell you the truth, when I see the subscriber numbers grow, I do get stoked. Whether it's one person, whether it's my mom, it doesn't matter. It just means that I'm reaching someone else, and it means a lot to me. So please make sure you're subscribed. And as always, underneath here, there are a whole bunch of links. I think there's free access to my book. You can book me for speaking, but most importantly, go and book yourself a coaching spot with me anywhere in the world over Zoom. What are you going to get from that? We are going to identify exactly where you are stuck in life. Are you stuck somewhere? Do you feel that there's a financial, professional, career, relational, fitness, health goal or issue that you would like to change? Well, it is a small price to pay, a small investment under here to really get you moving forward. It'd be cool. I would love to work with you one-on-one. So we jump on Zoom. I make it incredibly comfortable and easy. You will love the process, and we are going to get some change for you. So go and book yourself a coaching spot right now, my friend. Okay. Today, let's jump into the content. This is a 3-day series. Yesterday, we talked about the crucial importance of social connections and what happens when our social connections get weakened. If you didn't see that, go back to yesterday's episode, because this is a 3-day sequence and I want you to get yesterday. So today, we are talking about the effect of a weakened exposure to nature. And then tomorrow, we're going to talk about the impact of technological complexity. Do these seem random to you? I hope they don't, because I just think that lack of social connection, lack of exposure to the physical natural world, and the impact of technological overwhelm are a big part of what's driving the stress, the anxiety, and also the lack of effectiveness. You know, I was in the library the other day and I was working on a whole bunch of stuff. And you know what? That was my problem. I was working on a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, I got staff working for me and I'm flipping through Slack channels and responding to stuff, and I'm trying to read deep stuff on central bank digital currencies for another program that I do. At the end of it, I walked away going, what did I accomplish here today? So this technological overwhelm piece is not only stressful, it also affects our effectiveness. All right, enough of that. That's tomorrow. Are you ready? Are you strapped in? Today, my friend, we're going to talk about weakened exposure to nature, why it matters to you. You ready? Let's go. All right, the first thing I want to put on your radar is some kind of cosmological history, because I know that you woke up today saying to yourself, you know what? You know what's missing in my life? Cosmological history. Well, relax, friend, because I have got it for you. Listen, I want to put these things on your radar. Planet Earth, as we know it, came into existence around about 3.6 billion years ago. 3.6 billion years ago. Now, the cosmos itself, they think, is around 13 to 14 billion years old. Planet Earth is 3.6 billion years old. Stay with me. This is going to get really relevant. Next part, Homo sapiens sapiens, which is us, we're actually called Homo sapiens sapiens. We're about 350,000 years old. So if you go back 350,000 years, you are going to encounter bodies and brains quite similar to what we have today. Next point, first human civilizations only really began about 5,000 years ago. You go to ancient Mesopotamia, you've got, the cradle of civilization where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers meet. We've got ancient Egypt, and then we come into the classical civilizations like Rome and Greece. But here's what I want to say to you. Until really about 100, maybe 150 years ago, cities as we know them, suburbs as we know them, never existed. Now you might say, but what about ancient Rome? Ancient Rome, ancient Greece, Athens were anomalies, right? They were famous, they were amazing, people would come to see them and be like, wow. But the vast majority of humanity lived in very small groups, in small little villages and tribes and towns. Why am I sharing this with you? Because here's the point. Until very recently, we lived in ways that exposed us on a daily basis to the natural world. So you would walk out of your house and you would see the stars at night. You would see amazing things. And you were connected to the physical order, to the physical world. Now, I think we can agree that today, for most of us, that's radically changed. So one of the first premises I want to put in place in this video is simply that we've gone from being a species really connected to our physical surroundings to a species being deeply disconnected from our physical surroundings. So what I want to do is share with you an interesting little piece of research. I think it's from, I looked at it yesterday, it's from the Journal of Landscape and Urban Planning. You see, while you're sleeping, do you know what I'm doing? I'm reading the Journal of Landscape and Urban Planning on your behalf. You're welcome. And I read this really interesting study where they took a group of 60 people, and before they started this experiment, they gave them a whole bunch of psychological tests, just really important psychological tests to get a baseline. They split the group in two, and they sent one group on a walk through a heavily urbanized environment, like a cityscape. And then they took the other group through a really beautiful natural environment, beautiful forest, ocean, really nice, right? They brought them back, they redid the tests, and I want to share the research with you. Ready? Check this out. The group that had done the nature walk demonstrated decreased anxiety, decreased rumination, decreased negative affect or depression, the preservation of positive states, and increased working memory. Simply by walking through a forest, they had these remarkable outcomes. So it's one study, but I think you'd probably agree. I mean, intuitively, you know this, right? The times when you've really been in nature, it has this soothing effect, this calming effect. And the reason I'm doing this video in this 3-part sequence is because I think that many of us are deeply disconnected. I read a book recently on high sensitivity personalities, of which I'm actually one, right? I get quite sensitized to noise and complexity and busyness, and I need to constantly take times out, to take breaks. So I want to tell you 2 quick experiences I've had recently. Hopefully my awesome editor can put up a photograph here. But recently I took my son camping, and we were on this beach and we were fishing till late at night. And one of the reasons I wanted to fish late was because I wanted to see the stars. I just felt I hadn't seen the stars in ages, and we were there till late, and sure enough, it was a clear night, and a bazillion, I don't know if that's a technical number, but I'm going with it, a bazillion stars just turned up. It was phenomenal. And this sense of awe and wonder really started to just descend upon both of us. And there's this beautiful sunset before that. And coming back home to the city was, just this awareness of the disconnection we have and how beautiful that experience had been. Not only was the experience beautiful at the time, but the memory of it, like it's been a couple of weeks now, and I still find that the memory is just so powerful and so strong. In fact, I'm going to take him camping again tomorrow night up in the mountains. So I want to give you a couple of points on this. First thing is that many of you are going to go, well, where I live, it's not possible to get contact with nature. Au contraire, my friend, as the French would say. I want to contradict that. Because, quick story, I was in San Francisco speaking before COVID, and I remember getting up really early to go for a run. We were staying near the Golden Gate Bridge, and I ran through this kind of running track, and I'm in the middle of one of the world's greatest cities, right? And there's not many people around. The sun had just come up. There's these beautiful forests. And all of a sudden, this coyote steps out in front of me on the path. And we're just staring at each other. There's this moment like the coyote's going, are you going to move or am I going to move? And I'm just like, I don't know what happens here. I was a visitor from Australia. I'm like, what do you do with a coyote? Anyway, the coyote took off, but I share that story because in the middle of this busy, massive city, I had this beautiful encounter with the natural world. So I do want to encourage you that wherever you live, there are places. Here where I live in my city, we got a botanical gardens in our city, and sometimes I used to go there and just walk through the rainforest area there. So you can find these places. So that's the key point. I want you to make time for this because you got to be deliberate. Like yesterday's message, I talked about being deliberate with our social connections. I want you to be deliberate about this. Oh yeah, last point. I did want to say this. When you go to plan something like camping or you want to go for a hike or something, this part of your brain, there is a part of your brain that will tell you it's the dumbest idea ever, it's too complex, it's too much hassle, you got a really comfortable couch, you got air conditioning, and I feel that, right? Tomorrow we're going to camp in the mountains, it'll be cold, air mattresses, crazy food, this is Australia, right? So pretty much everything that crawls or moves will bite you or try to kill you. And the rugby's on tomorrow night, and it's the end of the week, and there's this part of me that's like, oh man, you can still be a good dad. You can just sit on the couch and be a good dad. You could put a rainforest on the TV. But no, I'm going to make the effort. So always remember, your brain will usually try to talk you out of this. So your homework, my friend, my challenge to you is to make some time, either today, just to go for a walk somewhere you haven't been. Take a detour on your way home from work and give yourself 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour in the natural world. okay? Or make some time to do this with friends and family. Go for a hike on the weekend. It really, really matters. I want you to build this into your daily routine, okay? So yesterday, weakened social connections. Today, the effect of weakened exposure to nature. Tomorrow, we talk about technological complexity. Please make sure you have subscribed. Hit those subscribe buttons. Share this with family and friends. And right now, before you leave this video, go down and book yourself a coaching spot with me anywhere in the world. It is worth the investment. Whatever you invest in coaching with me is going to pay you back big time in results. So go and book yourself a spot right now while I've still got some. Okay, God bless you, my friend. My name's Jonathan Doyle. This has been the Daily Message, and you and I, should be the other way, you and I are going to talk again tomorrow.